What's up, YouTube? This is True Raw for TV, and this is a video request from Bazooka Ike. He wanted me to talk about the segment on Undisputed today, where Skip and Shannon debated the greatness of Manu Ginobili. Of course, the San Antonio Spurs organization retired Manu Ginobili's number last night. Number 20 was raised to the Raptors. All right, and Skip obviously thinks very highly of Manu Ginobili. He said something that really caused a lot of raised eyebrows a couple of months ago when he said that he thought that Manu Ginobili was greater than Akeem Olajuwon. And tonight, I think Skip said something like he thought that Manu Ginobili was just, you know, just behind players like Magic, uh, Kobe, uh, Michael. I guess he was going off of something that Popovich said. All right. And then Shannon retorted that he didn't think that Manu Ginobili was even a top 50 player. He compared he compared Manu Ginobili to Robert Horry. He compared Manu. He called Manu a great cog in the Spurs system. All right. This is what I feel. Okay. I think that Manu Ginobili. I think somewhere in the middle is correct. Um, Shannon is wrong. Okay, Manu Ginobili is not a player on the level of Robert Horry. All right. Um, Now, if you're talking about his NBA career as well as his international career, his career in Argentina, uh, in the Olympics, remember back in 2004, Argentina, led by him, they beat the United States. Of course, in 2008, they had the Redeem team to make up for that embarrassing loss um, by that Olympic team. I think Manu is, if I had to really think about it, if you just take his NBA career, you can make the argument that maybe Manu is at the very best, like a top 75 all time player. I give him that. Um, yes, Manu Ginobili popularized the Euro step. He did not invent it. All right, I've heard some people say he invented. No, he did not. Skip Bayless talked about how Manu Ginobili basically invented the hammer pass. I don't know about that. I don't know if that's ever been verified. I'm pretty sure that he at least perfected it. He did have a very high basketball IQ. He was a very exciting player to watch. He did things that we hadn't seen in the NBA frequently or consistently before Manu Ginobili. And he is quite a revolutionary player. And Manu Ginobili should take credit for having very little ego. Most players of Manu Ginobili's stature would not have accepted a bench role. And Manu Ginobili, for many years, was the NBA's best six man. All right. He was a weapon. He may not have started games, but he was a finisher. And he was oftentimes the San Antonio Spurs' best player in the fourth quarter. However, there is no way in hell, as great as Manu Ginobili was, should anybody ever rank him historically in the Spurs organization greater than Tim Duncan, greater than David Robinson, hell, even greater than George Gervin. I know Gervin never won an NBA championship, but in my opinion, championship is not everything when it comes to greatness. All right, if that's the case, then Dominique Wilkins should be ranked lower than Robert Ory. And we all know that's stupid. Bullshit. Now, Ginobili, the highlights of him are exemplary, and they're just due. But I do vividly recall, I remember me in 78 Sports TV at the time. I think he was still 78 Fight News at the time. We did a video lambasting Manu Ginobili for his epic choke job in the 2013 NBA Finals, where he pretty much choked away the last 2 or 3 games of that series. I can't remember which games, but I definitely remember him choking in Game 7 of that series. It was Tim Duncan, who at that time was on the last legs of his career, all right, gave it his all in the first half of Game 7. I think he scored like 25 points. But he simply ran out of gas in the second half of that game. And Manu Ginobili, as he did inexplicably throughout that entire series, passed to the wrong teammate on the wrong team. All right? So I don't forget some of the Manu Ginobili toward the end of his career. Not at the same time it was the end of his career, but still he did it in the NBA Finals. And he was a big reason why they lost that series. That cannot be forgotten. But for the most part, Manu Ginobili had a fantastic career. Now, his statistics don't blow you away, all right, because of the fact that he played within the Spurs system, all right? That's one of the reasons why Tim Duncan's numbers are great, but they don't jump out at you when you think about, wow, well, why is this guy the GOAT? I mean, 23 points, 22.5 points, 12 rebounds. It's great numbers, but you think like, wow, well, with all the fuss about him, shouldn't be averaging 30 points and blah, 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 blah. That's because he's playing within the system. You know, Michael Jordan played in North Carolina under Dean Smith's system. His numbers didn't jump out at you. You know what I'm saying? Because he played within the system. But when he got in the NBA, when he got on a team that was poor, and he kind of got the green light, you saw what he could do individually. All right? You know, so no, he's not a top 5 or 10 all-time player, Sean Ginobili. In my opinion, like I said, he's not even top 50. But it does not mean that he was not a great player. And, you know, I'm starting to also understand something about being on YouTube, man. There are some of you that really don't seem to have great comprehension ability. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you hear somebody say, well, I don't think he's a top 50 player, you hear, well, I think he's a scrub. That's what you hear. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very frustrating that you have to overly explain simple shit. I'm not used to that. I'm honestly not used to having to overly explain shit that should be simple and easy to understand and comprehend. Now, having said all of that, Shannon Sharp was being a hater. Okay, Ginobili was not just a simple cog. Like, you know, basically he kind of was making Manu Ginobili to be something like. I know they're not the same play style exactly, but or the same position, but he was making Manu Ginobili to be something like Damon Stoudemire or something. You know, a very good offensive player. You know, fast. You know, I mean, but that's about it. Now, Manu Ginobili definitely had skills, man. Like I said, high basketball IQ, very good shooter, uh, crafty, uh, he was a highly skilled basketball player. And he was integral, integral, excuse me, to those Spurs championship teams in the 2000s. Um, but it's just one of those things, man. Like I sometimes wonder when I watch Undisputed whether or not they purposely take opposite positions for ratings. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you think that these guys wouldn't be so polar opposite on everything? You know what I mean? Like, I honestly think these guys just take positions for ratings. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't believe that Shannon Sharp. I'm starting to really not believe that Shannon Sharp is truly as big a LeBron tard or Bron sexual as he appeared to be. I think he plays it up for television. Just like I think Skip Bayless plays up this Manu thing for ratings. If everybody just agrees with each other, it makes for bad television. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think, at least. That's why back in the day they had Crossfire and the two guys, one on the left and one on the right, or one of them was Pat Buchanan. They purposely put two people who who agree with each other the least because it would make explosive television. And I think a show like Crossfire, all these political shows, set a blueprint for these sports shows because you need these extreme viewpoints to create tension and friction and arguments. And I think that's what goes on in sports nowadays. I really think these guys are playing up for television. That makes me a fool because I'm arguing potentially with false opinions. But hey, do what you gotta do. Tell me what you guys think, man.